Hello, and welcome to the Business Spotlight Series, episode 13. Today, I'm pleased to have with us Mark Heydlauff of Heydlauff's Appliances. How are you doing, Mark?
I'm great, Terrace. How are you?
Excellent, as always. Today, we're going to be talking about adapting retail services and product availability. But first, I thought maybe you could just give us a little history on Heydlauff's and, just a history of the company and your relationship to Chelsea.
Sure. Well, we've got a long history. We've been here over 90 years. My grandfather started the business, and my dad ran it with him for quite a while. And when I got out of college in the late 70s, I joined the business, and then my brother shortly thereafter. So we've been pretty much a family-oriented business with a lot of really good employees and have grown a lot over the years. My son Jake is now with us and has been for quite a few years now. So
Looking at four generations.
moving into the fourth now. So
It's crazy. Yeah.
and stayed very, very busy, grown the business a lot over the last 10 years particularly, and just doing well. Enjoy Chelsea. We've been here all our lives. Of course, we're born and raised here, and it's our community, and we love the area and great customers, and we've just expanded and grown our business from here, and that's all we plan on doing. So
Yeah. What year was it when you guys first opened?
my grandfather started selling appliances back in 1928 and did a lot of, door to door back then. And he worked out of a garage on Orchard Street and different buildings in town that he could just rent a little space from. So he
That's
was
awesome.
in Winans Jewelry Store for a while, quite a few other places in town, and bought the location that we're at currently in 1945 is when he bought this location. So, and then we had our fire, which was in in 1970, that when the store burnt down and we had to rebuild. So we've been at this location for a long time.
Yeah, that's awesome. I just I remember coming in there a long time ago when I was very young. So it's a true staple of Main Street. That's for sure. Yeah.
And, the business has evolved into lots of different things. When my grandfather started, they were selling different products back then than certainly what we're doing now. But we've come a long way. We sold a lot of electronics years ago, and now we're pretty much just an appliance store.
Right.
But a lot of transitions and a lot of changes, but nothing like what we're dealing with over the last couple of months. So.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to
Really
ask.
different.
Yeah, we could talk about that too. Before we get there, I did want to just kind of segue into, you talked about a lot of growth and stuff in the last 10 years. I don't think a lot of people realize, when they see your storefront on Main Street, they might have some predispositions about what a local appliance store would look like, what kind of scale that you're at. But I mean, beyond the fact that you have your two main floors as well as the basement in the storefront, you guys have a warehouse as well, right?
Yeah, when we built this building back in 1970, the basement was our warehouse, and
Right.
over the years, as we got busier and had more products that we needed to show, the basement was turned into a showroom. The building next door was turned into a showroom, and then we had some offsite warehouses. We would rent different buildings around town to have our back stock and inventory, and back in the year 2000, we were able to purchase a warehouse building out in the industrial park.
Right.
So we've been out there for quite a while. I've got a 12,000 square foot warehouse, which has been pretty well packed to the gills lately, getting appliances in. But that's really that having a warehouse has allowed our business to grow. The more products we have, the more back stock that's available. Running our delivery trucks out of there, bringing semis into there is a lot easier than it was downtown. So
I can imagine.
Yeah, years ago when we purchased that building, it was a big warehouse, and Tim Merkel from Merkel's Furniture bought half of it, and we bought the other half, and kind of condoed it, and it really helped both of our businesses and organizations grow. So it was a good move for both of us.
Yeah, that's awesome. Tim and the Merkel family are just fantastic community members. Lovely store. You guys are kind of at the opposite ends of town, right?
Yeah,
Town.
I handled this end of Main Street, and he does the other.
There you go. There you go. That's good stuff. Yeah, I imagine the warehouse, as well as obviously, like you said, delivering all that stuff, but it gives you more of an immediacy than people might find in a lot of the local smaller appliance stores, because you don't have to say, oh, well, I can order that for you as often.
Right. A lot of times our really popular items, I have a pretty good stock of them at the warehouse. So if somebody comes in and needs something and wants to pick it up or needs to have it delivered in the next day or so, we have it.
Yeah.
So it's a little different environment that some of the box stores have, because a lot of times they have to get the product
Mhm.
and it has to come in the next few days. And I might, normal situations, I might have it today for somebody, which is really
Right.
nice.
Yeah,
So
that's awesome. I mean,
um,
immediacy. When you spend big money, it's nice to not have to wait.
yeah, and people, they want to wash it right away, or they need a refrigerator right away,
Yep.
and we can take care of that if we need to.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, that's that. Like I said, I think that's just something people aren't grasping. Is the true scale of things. So it's nice to get that information out there. You
yep.
know.
It's been a great facility for us to have with the warehouse, and really just has allowed us to really grow the business, which has been
Mhm.
very, very good.
So speaking of which, product availability and what you're able to get in your warehouse right now. Let's.
Well, everything has been different over the last couple of months. The whole COVID-19 has really affected not just our retail, but everybody's retail, of course. And we were fortunate through this to be able to deal with some essential services of refrigeration and laundry products, and we were still here answering the phone even on the short few weeks that we had to be completely shut down from a showroom standpoint.
Right.
Um, and during that time, I was still shipping in product, trying to make sure that I would have the product that I needed for projects that I knew that were coming up
Hmm.
in April and May. So we were able to ship a lot of stuff into the warehouse and just make sure our inventory levels were good. But the longer this has gone on, Terrace, the pipelines are getting dried up. The manufacturers that had to shut down their plants, and the suppliers that the manufacturers have that make wiring harnesses or condensers for refrigerators or individual parts, have affected that
Hmm.
production schedule that they have. And now we're really seeing that we're looking at a lot of zeros when we go to order product.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate. I've shipped in a lot of stuff, but I'm frustrated now that things that we're selling now and we're extremely busy just go on back order.
Hmm.
And we're looking at maybe weeks, maybe even months before the pipeline gets filled back up. And that's a concern, because we need to get product as soon as we can, but we're all dealing with such a unique situation that we'll just have to see what happens.
Yeah, you're definitely not alone in that. From the bike shops, Aberdeen in
Right.
town, to the restaurants in town, they're all having the same thing. And I mean, they're literally having, one of the restaurant owners was telling me, they'll have a truck show up and it just doesn't have the stuff on it it's supposed to have. And they say, well,
Right.
what's that? And they're like, well, it didn't show up to us, so not showing up to you. And I think it's becoming such a problem at this current time that the communication isn't even always there. Where people, I mean, it sounds silly, but even just anything you've ordered from places and stuff, it can take so long in the postage and things. People don't know what's happening, and it's kind of making it extra frustrating that it doesn't seem like there's an end date attached to anything. As you said, maybe it's weeks, maybe it's months, and that's problematic. You were
Yeah.
telling me specifically you had one item that everybody wants that you can't seem to get your hands on anymore.
Well, right off the bat, we were selling a lot of freezers, and my normal inventory of freezers is probably, I would say, 30 units maybe,
Right.
between our stock at the store and at the back stock at the warehouse. And we went through that in a fairly quick period of time. And early on in that equation, as I'm selling things, I'm reordering like I normally would do, because all businesses are used to just getting stuff as you need it and
Yep.
getting it on a very, you know, measured level. And all of a sudden the phones are just ringing off the hook with people wanting freezers. And so I'd go in and I'd order a few more. And then I'm noticing that, it's the availability is getting tight. And so, to make a really long story short, I have about 250 freezers on order right now. Nobody has any freezers. Manufacturers are completely out. No dealer has any. We're taking a list of anybody that calls and finding
Mm-hmm.
out what they might need. And when we start seeing freezers, we'll be in touch. But um, not even any dates that you can trust now when you
Right.
look at the order screen.
Yep.
I'm hoping that we see some by mid to late June. Some of the products have dates of early July, but until they're physically in my warehouse and I can
Right.
touch them and have the confidence of calling a customer and saying, I have a freezer for you, that's what we're going to have to rely on. So,
Have you found people trying like a different substitute, like potentially just going for a fridge freezer instead
yep,
for the garage?
yep, absolutely. People call and they want a 5 or 7 cubic foot small chest freezer. if you buy a 18 cubic foot refrigerator, it has about 5 cubic foot of freezer space,
Yeah.
and it's, we can all use an extra refrigerator for
Sure.
pop and beer and water and other overflow, and so we are selling some extra refrigerators too. I was real fortunate about a month ago. I got a call from GE. I'm on a list of dealers that get offered blemish products out of their production facilities.
Right.
So when um, they'll have products that go down the assembly line that might have a little imperfection in the corner of the door, or a little scratch on the side of the
Yeah.
cab, or just something doesn't look quite right. So they call it B class product, and they
Sure.
discount it quite heavily. But they called up during the whole COVID-19 shutdown and said, "We've got 50 refrigerators. Would you like them?" And I couldn't say yes fast enough to get them
Oh,
shipped
sure.
here, because that's the type of product that, especially this time of year, that people are looking for, is extra refrigerators, and that's really helped.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to have that.
And is that the kind of thing that you were able to acquire enough that you have some of those available, or have they pretty much gone to backlog lists? Or
No, we've probably gone through 10 or 15 of them now. I still have a really good stock of that. 50 of
okay,
that particular level of refrigerators will usually last us, as the garage and secondary refrigerator, it's usually about a 3 month supply for us. I think we'll go through this load quicker,
yeah.
but I still have a really good stock of them. We've moved a lot, but I still have quite a few. So.
Well, you've heard it here first, guys. Go get your fridges before they're gone.
Well, and the frustrating thing, Terrace, that we're dealing with right now is, as we're selling refrigerators, and I'm selling them off my floor, I'm selling them out of my warehouse right now, and now it's finally starting to get hot.
Mm-hmm.
I go to reorder, and I'm seeing nothing but zeros.
Mm-hmm.
And so I reorder them, and I don't know if it's going to be a week or 2 or 3 before I see them.
Right.
That's where these refrigerators are going to be really handy for people. It might not be the ultimate refrigerator they want, but they're inexpensive, and it gets somebody over this hump.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad to have them. I think it's going to be nice this summer, because we're really going to have some availability issues.
I mean, I think anybody that's got the garage and was looking for the chest freezer, they're going to be pleased to have that spot for the extra drinks and things like that. The fridge is going to come in handy.
Right.
So
it's another option.
Yep.
Another option to consider. Yep.
So I want to shift gears a little bit, talk about, how you've been adapting your retail services. Obviously, at this time, you're now, you're appointment only. We all know rules on masks and things like that. There's been some changes very recently that are interesting as far as the CDC and what they're saying about contact surfaces and things like that seem very promising for all of us. But, personally, I'll wait to give that a week and see how that actually holds up. But beyond that, you guys do a lot of services out and about from the store, obviously, deliveries and things like that. How have you guys had to adapt that process?
Well, early on, we were doing just some drop-off deliveries to garages and really not going in people's houses. It's difficult in our situation, because I can't just put a big refrigerator in somebody's garage and have them deal with it. I mean,
right.
We need to help them get it in and get their other one out. So we slowly transitioned into offering that service to customers if they were comfortable with it and would wear masks and give us some protection and get ready for us by cleaning some things out. And so we could make it quick and easy. My guys are doing the same thing. We're wearing masks, we have gloves, hand sanitizer. We're doing the best we can, and really trying to get through it that way. We needed to get back into the installation and hookup business,
right,
and doing some service calls and helping people that way. So we ask that our customers are honest with us and telling us if they're feeling healthy and can have us in their house, and we can help them with the issue we'd like to, and we're going to do the same at our end. So we're going to keep moving forward that way. And we've been extremely busy over the last few weeks. I'm running a couple trucks. I got a couple crews out there, and we're trying to get as much done and help people as we can.
Yeah. The other day you were telling me an interesting story about someone that called with an issue, and you were like, okay, well, we're maybe 2 weeks out. And they had said something like, well, I'm thinking like 4 months.
Yeah. It's, it's their comfort level too, of having someone in their house and having that contact. And I get that. If they don't want us there for a while and they can wait, great. And I've got product at my warehouse that we've called people whose projects have been delayed because of the whole contractor issue, and finding out if they're back on track, or sometimes waiting isn't a bad thing, and I'm fine with that. So we've got a lot of product at our warehouse waiting to be delivered.
That's great. Yeah, I know. It'll hopefully, like I said, hopefully this new information from the CDC is just going to benefit us all greatly.
Right.
I mean, right there, like you said, you're going into people's homes and stuff. The comfort of knowing that the surfaces are clean, whether they've cleaned them or not, at least not covered in COVID-19 is pretty huge.
Yeah.
On that front, I did want to see, you had mentioned that you guys are potentially looking for some help, and you have a really strong connection to the community and the type of people that you bring in. It's not so much like job fair style work here. You're really looking for the right candidates to kind of become a part of the family, if you will.
I feel like sometimes we have more careers than jobs. I mean, I've got the ability for somebody to be here for a long time. I mean, we're busy enough now that another salesperson, whether it's part-time for a while or could be full-time, I think that's going to be a need. Certainly on the delivery and installation and service end, we're always looking for good qualified people to help there. We're a busy organization, and finding the right people to work with us and to be in the Chelsea area and knowing the area and knowing the community and the people in the community is really important. I mean, we're small family oriented businesses in Chelsea, and the right key employees are very, very important. And we've been fortunate. We don't have a lot of turnover employees. We have people that stay with us for a long time, which really, really helps. So
yeah, I mean, that speaks a lot to you too and the type of company you're running. So I applaud you for that. Low turnover is not that easy to accomplish all the time. But,
yeah.
And I can see what you mean. I mean, the installation and delivery ends up really being the face of your company too. Someone can come in and shop, and of course you're there to help them buy the thing they want to buy. But by the time they're getting that, installation and delivery, that's, the sale's kind of been made, and that's when they really start to see a value in customer service. So I can appreciate that you're really trying to make sure that those are the employees that truly value what you're doing as a company, and, the customers you have.
It is very important to us in our organization. And, I've been really fortunate. My partners are my brother, Matt and Steve, who spend a lot of time on the delivery trucks and doing installations in the store when we're not doing that. My son, Jake, has been integral in doing installs and helping with the delivery and warehouse crew and helping with the whole internet and social media and website. And it's been nice having a team like that. And then we have a lot of good employees that have worked with us for a long time. So that really helps. So
is there pretty good access to your inventory on the website?
It's access to product, Terrace, more than inventory. It's hard to tie my inventory to it.
Right.
We try to keep it current as to what we have in stock or what our popular items are that we have good availability of. But having it be tied to our inventory is a step that's just not there yet. So
no, I completely understand that. Yeah, that makes sense. It takes a lot, man. People are always like, oh, you just throw the website up and this and that, and it's a constant maintenance type of thing. Everything.
It is. It's almost like a full-time job for someone to sit there and manage it. So
it truly is. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's so much information, and there's so many different products in with all the different brands of appliances that are out there that it's impossible to have everything.
Yeah.
We try to have the really popular stuff and the good value product.
Well, I think anybody that's been in the store dealt with you guys would agree with those statements. So that's good. Just wanted to say in closing, if there's anything else you wanted to add, or a particular product you have around the store you're excited about right now, or anything that you'd just like to share with the community.
Well, I think this whole last few weeks and figuring out how we're all going to get back and reopen has been a real challenge. It changes every day. And doing sales by appointments has worked out well for us. We're still trying to manage that. Sometimes we get too many at the same time, so that makes it a little difficult. So we're trying to tweak that a little bit. But if people can call and make an appointment, we can be better ready for them and organized and make the process go that much smoother. But I know that's a challenge for all retail. I'm so anxious for everybody else in Chelsea to get opened up.
I know.
We all need to be here as a group, and we all help each other by having people come to town. And I've been fortunate to be able to be open through this, but I really want the other stores opened up too. So I hope this doesn't go too much longer for everyone, and that they can get back operating.
Yeah, I don't think a single business can survive in a downtown area on its own for very long. It has to be a community, a circular operation. So
Yep.
I'm right there with you. I just want people to know that as far as, like you said, making appointments, we have put put the phone number for Heydlauff's as well as the email and the website. So if you guys are looking to contact them and set up an appointment and go check some stuff out, you can find that information in the comments on the video. Mark, I want to thank you for coming by today, digitally, if it will.
Thank you. We're social distancing, so it's working out good. So, but thanks for all your help. I'm glad to do this, and thanks for doing it.
No problem. No problem. Great. Well, happy Wednesday, everyone. We'll see you next week, Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Chamber page. Thank you to Shasta Grifka and Grifka Marketing for sponsoring and facilitating as always. And you guys have a great one. See you later.